Why does addiction impair decision-making? Have you ever wondered why someone struggling with addiction seems to make choices that are harmful to themselves? The answer lies in how addiction affects the brain, particularly in areas responsible for decision-making. Addiction, also known as substance use disorder, changes the way the brain operates, especially in regions that help us make choices and control impulses. When a person uses addictive substances over time, their brain's reward system becomes overly active. This system includes areas like the ventral tegmental area and the nucleus accumbens, which are crucial for feeling pleasure. Normally, these areas help us enjoy everyday activities. However, drugs flood this system with dopamine, a chemical linked to pleasure and motivation. Over time, the brain starts to depend on the drug for dopamine releases, making natural rewards less appealing. This shift is why individuals with addiction often prioritize drug use over other important aspects of life. The prefrontal cortex and the anterior cingulate cortex play significant roles in decision-making. The prefrontal cortex helps weigh the pros and cons of our actions and consider future outcomes. The anterior cingulate cortex is involved in monitoring conflicts and detecting errors. In individuals with addiction, both areas show reduced activity and altered function. This means they may struggle to control impulses and ignore long-term consequences, repeating harmful behaviors even when they want to stop. Addiction also disrupts how the brain processes emotions. The somatic marker hypothesis suggests that emotions guide our decisions by creating gut feelings about possible outcomes. In addiction, this emotional guidance system is impaired. People may not feel the usual warning signals when considering risky choices, leading them to seek immediate rewards, like drug use, despite knowing it could harm their health or relationships. Impulsivity increases with addiction, making it harder to resist urges. Compulsive behaviors also strengthen, where drug use becomes a habit that feels automatic and difficult to break. These changes are linked to shifts in the brain's reward and stress systems. Over time, the brain starts to associate drug cues, such as places or people, with intense cravings, further undermining the ability to make healthy choices. These brain changes explain why individuals with addiction often continue using drugs even when facing serious problems like job loss or family conflict. The drive for immediate reward can overwhelm the ability to plan for the future or learn from past mistakes. This pattern resembles what is seen in individuals with damage to the prefrontal cortex, who also struggle with decision-making and impulse control. The anterior cingulate cortex is particularly important for noticing when something is wrong and adjusting behavior accordingly. In addiction, its reduced function means that warning signals about the negative effects of drug use may not register as strongly. This contributes to repeated drug use despite adverse consequences, a hallmark of substance use disorder. Understanding these brain changes highlights why willpower alone is often insufficient to overcome addiction. Effective treatment usually involves therapies that help retrain decision-making skills, manage cravings, and address underlying emotional issues. Medications may also help restore balance to brain chemistry, supporting better choices during recovery. In summary, addiction impairs decision-making by altering key brain regions involved in reward, impulse control, and emotional processing. These changes make it difficult to resist drugs, consider long-term outcomes, or learn from negative experiences. Recognizing these effects is essential for developing compassionate and effective approaches to treatment and recovery.